Hey everybody, welcome to Maker Studio. This is Kim and I am just hanging out with you guys today to do a really beautiful craft. I hope that when you hop on you will say hi and let me know where you're watching from, what you're up to, and I'm always curious if you have used the stencil I'm about to use and how. It's actually a brand new stencil, so I'm guessing maybe not too many of you have tried it yet, but it is one of my favorites. It's literally one of those beautiful stencils that I think Maker Studio has come out with. I'm a huge fan of a damask type pattern, and this stencil does not let you down. So first of all, I just want to say, once again, my name is Kim. Normally I blog at Salvaged Living, where I do lots of easy DIY and home decor for Life and Home Redeemed. But today I'm hanging out with you guys over here. If you are interested in projects like this, I do stuff like this all the time over on my blog and Facebook and Instagram pages, so I'd love to have you join me there as well. But today we're going to hang out with Maker Studio, and the really fun news is that there's going to be one lucky lady or man who is going to get a giveaway. So we're going to work with this stencil today. It's called the Acanthus Ram. Sorry, I can't say that word. Acanthus Ram. It is gorgeous, y'all. Look how pretty this stencil is. I feel like the stencil was made for me. So we're going to give away one of these brand new stencils to somebody. And the way that you're going to enter to win is to comment on this video. Just whenever you comment, you're entered. And also just invite your friends. So tag 3 friends. Invite 3 friends that you think would be interested in learning some fun crafting ideas and have them join us. So we're going to use this stencil. I'm actually going to use a charger from the dollar store. You can get these in all different colors at Dollar Tree. All the different dollar stores have different ones. You just got to be on the lookout to get the ones you want. They come a lot of times in gold, silver, white. I've seen one that's in like a faux wood. At the holidays, there's different colors sometimes too. So I always buy these when I can. And then we're going to use ChalkArt today. All right, because I'm going to show you a fun way that you can use these colors, especially for spring. We have some really beautiful colors. Hey Good Looking is this really great green color. Spring in My Step is a beautiful blue. And then we have Fancy Pants, which is this kind of a lavender purple color. And I would be curious to which one is your favorite. I kind of have a personal favorite that we're going to use today, but I'd love to hear which one is your favorite, the blue, the lavender, or the green. Of course, I'm going to use my squeegees that I always use. A lot of times I have painter's tape on hand just to tape off different parts of the project that I don't want to mess up on, so we'll probably do that as well. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing, and we're going to get started, but don't forget to invite your friends to come join us, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do, you guys, is we're going to just update this charger, and that way if you want to leave your table set for the spring season or the holidays, you can do that. You have options when you're using different paints with these stencils, the mesh stencils, and you can use ceramic paint if you want a permanent surface on like a dishes or mugs, glassware, stuff like that. You could use the chalk paint, ChalkArt, if you want something that's not quite as permanent, which is what I'm going to do. And then we have the gel art ink, which is great for a permanent paint finish on fabrics, napkins. You could use that on your napkins for the holidays. You can use it on t-shirts, bags, things like that. So just decide what kind of surface you're going to use, then decide what kind of finish you want. Do you want it to be a permanent finish or a semi-permanent finish? And go from there to decide what kind of paint you want to use. The reason I'm going to use ChalkArt today is because it's a water-soluble paint that will wash off. So if I want to use these chargers all throughout the year, I could just put different designs on them at different times of the year, and then when I'm done, wash them off. Especially if you're just going to host like a dinner party and you want to do something really gorgeous and unique, you could use these stencils for a one-time fun plate charger, and then when everything's done, you can wash it off. If you wanted this to be a permanent plate charger, like you just love this design, you know you're going to want to leave it out all the time or, you know, use it frequently, then I would suggest you use the ChalkArt ink. It's permanent, or actually the ceramic, either one. I think actually maybe ceramic, now that I think about that. So I just want to make sure this is sealed down really well because this is a very slick surface. When you have a slick surface, stencils tend to bleed. That's what's amazing about these stencils in particular, is they adhere to your surface, and if you get them down there right, they are going to give you a crisp, clean stencil finish that you would absolutely not be able to get with a traditional, you know, plastic stencil. It just wouldn't work the same. So the key here is going ahead and getting this really adhered well. And these are reusable stencils, so once you finish this, you can go on to the next one. I usually find that I can get like 1 or 2 passes on a stencil before I have to wash it and start fresh. That's going to be up to you. It also depends a little bit on which paint you use, because they all, I feel like, land on the stencil a little bit differently. I think I'm going to try the green. I love green. I love all shades of green. So we're going to do, well, maybe. We're going to try the blue. Oh, see, that was meant to be. I could not get that green open, you guys. All right, so I'm going to use, and here's the deal I wanted to tell you too. So you can see this is kind of like soft and kind of jelly-like. I can scoop it up pretty easily. If your ChalkArt gets too thick and it hardens a little bit, you can always add water to it. It is water soluble, so it will thin out. I'm gonna just go around the edges, making sure I get right up to where I wanna be, using some extra caution on those edges. And you're just gonna push that paint through the stencil. It's so, so simple, you guys. Try not to go over it more than you have to, but at the same time, make sure you get that paint into all of the stencil. And then you want to kind of smear off the excess. There are so many fun colors. I mean, this stencil, in my opinion, if you do it in these light, fun colors for spring, is great, but then you could just as easily turn around and do it in like red for a beautiful Christmas table. And I love the versatility of a stencil like that. You know, the colors are going to dictate so much of what this stencil feels like. It's just a classic. That's why I love the damask pattern. It's a classic year-round pattern that you can just decide what season you want to make it. I want to remind you that the best way to take care of your stencils so that they will serve you well and long is to wash them pretty quickly after you use them. So as soon as you're done here, if you're not going to reuse it pretty quickly, you want to get it into the stencil into a water bath, or go ahead and take it to your sink and just rinse it under warm soapy water. That will help get the paint out. You just want to make sure that the paint is out of the mesh stencil part, okay, you guys? So it will possibly stain the gray part of your stencil when you use it with colored paint, and that is not a big deal. It's not going to ruin your stencil. Just what you want to be careful of is letting the paint dry in these little mesh parts, because that is what's going to ruin your stencil and not make it usable again. All right, so now we're going to do this inside. You could also do a mix on this of just doing the stencil on the outside of the plate, or just doing it on the circle inside of the plate, or doing two different colors actually on the inside and the outside. All right, I'm gonna get this. Trying to get it in this bend. I just love the fact that you can bend these stencils to go on whatever shape you're working with. It's just a really nice feature. You can see you just get it on there and then just adhere it down. All right, so I'm gonna try to get the excess off. The reason you get the excess off is actually those lines. If you have excess lines when you pull the stencil up, they will, you can see those paint lines in your actual finished product. So you kind of want to make it as smooth as you can. And then you just put your excess back in your bucket. This paint goes a really long way actually. So it takes very little to do these. And then this is the fun part. Just gently pull it back. I love when they're kind of worn and cozy. So fun for spring. And honestly, you don't even have to use these to serve on. You could actually use them for decoration, like in a bookshelf or something like this, as a backdrop piece or a serving piece. It would be really pretty. So some of the paint pulled up off of my charger. This charger is a little bit old, but look how beautiful that is, you guys. I love it. I love it so, so much. I just think it's so beautiful. You can't believe you can make something like that. And look how fun you could do it with all these different colors for spring. Would make great hostess gifts too, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed that really simple project. And remember, it doesn't have to be difficult or hard to make beautiful things from the dollar store, or just from things that you already have. The great part about this is it'll dry, and if I want to wash this off in a week, I can do that. So you guys have fun creating. And don't forget, tag a friend, invite somebody to come watch us. Make sure you commented so you can get entered to win one of these free stencils as well. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.